15th of June, Rabbi Levitt, Pele, Yoetz.
So this is a very important point that he's saying here in the end, that, when two children are fighting, is that what he's saying? There's a quarrel between two children. Okay, whatever type of a quarrel it is, in the Hebrew, kasher yeh riv ben shnei yeladim, when there's a riv. Okay, some type of an argument. I don't know if it's come to actual physical fighting or not. I would think that if you see two children that are physically fighting, one is hurting the other one, and you should prevent that from happening. But in any case, he's making a very important point over here, I think, that the adults should not get involved in a quarrel between two children. And he says why? Because the quarrel that happened between children, it doesn't last long. You'll see after a certain amount of time, they're joking with one another. That's what he says. Okay, you might argue with it. You might say, no, it's going to cause psychological scars to the other child and bullying, and there's a lot of talk of that today, I know. But he says that they fight because part of the thing of fighting is because it's fun to fight. And after they had their fun, they move on to another type of fun, like joking around, and they, it's all part of the playing. But when adults get involved and they think that the children are really are getting into a real fight, and they're sticking up for their own child, he says that can cause hatred between two grown adults, and that is really a shame. He says that's a shame that would happen, because according to his assumption, if you'll accept his assumption, it's that the children are going to just move on to some other form of fun other than fighting, and they're, so to speak, and if they were fighting, they'll make up. He says, if they were fighting seriously, they'll make up. They forget about it, because the main thing is fun, and they don't have these midas that the grown people have of that continue a fight. Okay.
What about the first part of it, what I read about hitting the children?
Yeah, well, today most people, I think I think there's a lot of authority today for saying that because of the fact that people today are the way they are, it doesn't have the proper effect, and so therefore that's why in many places, many schools, whatever, they don't allow the teachers to do that anymore. So to us, it seems because people generally accept the fact today that at least there are some that do accept that today, and that probably is most of us. They accept the fact that it's counterproductive. But there was a time that people were that did produce good results. and therefore that's why he's saying that it should be done.
Hmm.
I think people have changed. And what was fitting in the times of the in this regard, and what used to work doesn't work now. Not because it was wrong in that time, but because the people.
Oh. Right.
This was one of the methods that was used and it would have a beneficial effect.
Hmm. By the way, Rabbi, you froze for about half a minute or so, quarter of a minute.
Oh, so in any case, so I'll just repeat what I said. It's very difficult to say that we just know better today, and we realize that was a mistake even back then. That's an unacceptable way to explain the situation. The way to explain the situation is to say that back then it worked, but today it doesn't, and that's why we don't do it.
Would they do it in Haredi circles, in the really sort of Haredi?
I mean, it's a pasuk in Mishlei. It's a pasuk pshat and a pasuk in Mishlei. To withhold this method of discipline is to show hatred to the child. That's basically the pasuk pshat in a pasuk in Mishlei.
Mm-hmm.
Look it up if you want. Today, what they do is that they dance around that pasuk and figure out some way to explain that it doesn't really mean that, or it has a different. It also.
You're frozen again.
Also hit.
Again, you're frozen. Maybe you should go out and come back in again. What do you think, Lou? What?
I don't know. It depends on what his situation is.
Mm.
And what if he's plugged into the internet, maybe he should plug in. I don't know if he can. I've mentioned this to him before, but I don't know if he's done anything about it.
Oh, he's off. He's at.
I just
Sure.
took your advice.
Hmm. Did any of us ever smack our children?
I did.
Mm. It says spare the rod and spoil the child.
I smacked him good.
Hmm.
Yeah, my feeling is that that's PC,
Is it what?
politically correct.
Hmm. I wouldn't worry about politics. I'd do what was right for my child.
That was my philosophy.
Hmm.
Thank God they came out pretty good.
Hmm. I think I only smacked one of my children once, and that's when he wouldn't stop going into a pool of water. He would have, he was a little kid, and he, or was it on the road? No, I think it was in a pool in the gardens, in one of our public gardens, a pond sort of thing. And he just kept on going. He couldn't swim in those at that time, but he didn't listen to me. All right, Rabbi, you're back.
Rabbi, are you?
Okay, I guess Zoom didn't like what I was saying, so they knocked me off.
Quite
It may
right.
not be popular what I'm saying, but nevertheless, the truth has to be said.
Hmm. All right. And I was just saying that sort of spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah, what does that mean? That's not the if you look up the pasuk, it says that he hates his child if he does this.
Yeah.
Doesn't the English translation is not correct.
No, that's not.
We could look up the pasuk in
That's not
Mishlei.
it. No, that's not the translation.
Pasuk in Mishlei.
Yeah, that's not the translation. It's a different thing altogether. That's a different saying altogether. Spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about the pasuk in Mishlei. I'm not talking about the non-Jewish sayings, which are not based upon Torah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, so okay. See, the thing is that right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very controversial topic, but that's the situation. That's the situation. Okay. I mean, he doesn't even feel a need to explain the source for such a mode of conduct. He just says that this is what should be done, because to him it's so clear and self-understood and accepted that this is something that has to be done. Did he bring any sources for this? That this is something that should be done?
No, I don't think there are any sources for that. No. No,
Well,
not in the English.
Mishlei 22:15.
Where's that? Where's that source? Where's
Page
that?
278. The very beginning.
The Mishlei?
We've looked at all these other
Oh,
ones.
yeah. Oh, he did bring that pasuk. Okay, that's a that's a second pasuk.
There's another pasuk in Mishlei, 13:24. The English says, "He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly in the morning." So that is part of Mishlei.
Oh, so that's right.
That's what
That
Roy
was the
brought
pasuk
up.
that was the pasuk I was referring to. Where's the citation again?
It's chapter 13, verse 24.
Okay.
That's not cited in the text here.
No, it's not. But
You-
when you said
you
spare
found
the
it.
rod, I
Yeah.
looked it up.
Yeah, he does have another, he has another pasuk. He has a second pasuk. It's not as well known, I guess, as this pasuk of 13:24.
Yeah, that's
Maybe we should look at that pasuk. Mishlei 22:15. Let's see.
22:15. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we looked at it, I think.
Did we see that already?
Yeah, along with Sota. And but anyway, let's look at it again.
22:15. Oh, yeah. Very interesting.
Proverb, Mishlei's proverb, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. 22. What? 22.
15.
15.
Yeah.
We pretty much quoted it verbatim.
Mine here says, if folly settles in the heart of a lad, the rod of discipline will remove it.
Okay.
Remove the heart or remove the folly?
I think the folly.
Yes.
Because my translation is similar. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a youth, but the rod of moral instruction, discipline, will drive it far from him.
Oh, so they're even getting around they're saying that the rod is simply moral instruction. Okay.
According to the Me'am Lo'ez, yes.
Okay, interesting.
There's a commentary here from the Al-Sheikh, but
Let's see what the words are actually. Yeah.
the comment here from the Al-Sheikh, but I hasn't got Nikodot. I don't know if I can read it. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? I don't know.
No, I can't.
It's a little difficult.
Sorry.
No.
Okay, so the pasuk says Ivelis Kishura Belev Noar. So there's an Ivelis. There's a there's something that's an Ivelis. Let's just call it something. Okay, you could call it folly, whatever you want to call it. It's not our subject today. So that's inside the heart of a youth. Shevet Musar, Yarchi Kena Imenu. The Shevet of Musar. Okay, so that's good. It doesn't simply say the Shevet will Shevet means, by the way, Shevet means a rod or a staff, something used to hit with. But it says the shevet of Musar. So you could really get away with saying that what's the shevet over here is the Musar. Musar is like Mayor read from the translation, a moral, right? Learning Sforim of Musar, learning Mesilas Yesharim, learning Chovos Alavavos, learning these Sforim of Musar. That's going to be the rod that will distance the youth from his foolishness. Let's just see how the Vilna Gaon explains over here. Ivelis Geshur Belev Noar Kloimar Shehagodol Ap Sheyase Ivelis Belibo Yodea Shehu Ivelis Ve'eno Kashurbo. Interesting. He says like this: an adult, even though he also has this Ivelis in his heart, Yodea Shehu Ivelis. He knows that this Ivelis that he has is Ivelis. He knows that it's folly. He knows it's foolishness. And that knowledge itself means that Eno Kashurbo, he's not going to connect to it. Aval Hanar, but a youth, Haivelis Kashura Belibo, it's connected. It's into it. It's in his heart. It's there, and it's connected to his mode of operation. Afal Pikain, but nevertheless, what can distance him from that foolishness that he's connected to? Shevet Musar Yarchikenu, the staff, the rod of moral instruction will distance him from that. Says the Gaon, Ad Sherachok Yeh Be'enov La'asoiso, until it is a far distant thing in his eyes to bring himself to do such a foolish thing. Okay, just like it says, Chazal say, a person doesn't do an Avera unless a ruach of shtus enters him. So a ruach of shtus, a spirit of foolishness, of stupidity, of lack of intelligence and understanding enters him. That's the only way that a person can do an Avera. A person who's an understanding person and he knows what a mitzvah is, and he knows what an Avera is. He doesn't do an Avera unless he has some spirit of shtus enter into him. Okay, so Okay. Oh. In yeah, you really have to know what is the shorish of the word musar. We just have a automatic response that musar simply means learning Mesilas Yesharim. But if you say that musar comes from the word Yisurim, musar is Yisurim, then you understand how the Pele Yoetz is using this pasuk. It's not simply the staff of the Mesilas Yesharim that we're talking about. It's the staff that gives a patch, that gives Yisurim, that we're talking about. That's the staff. That's the Shevet Musar.
We're talking here about males. What about females? What about girls, little girls? What do you do there? Is
Well, you want to
the same?
you want to say that the fact that the pasuk didn't say belev nar v'nara, we can infer that it's not referring to the lave of a nara.
I think so.
I'm not so sure about that. Do we find that the Torah is gender conscious? Often we find that the Torah refers to it just speaks in a language of masculine, and it's clear that the prohibition applies to women as well.
Mm. Just have to know when.
Women are obligated in all 365 negative.
Yeah.
And it's not because the pasuk specifically says a man or a woman shouldn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if you could make that inference over here.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. And what's the word Yisurim mean? Actually, it means
Yisurim means Yisurim are afflictions.
So if Hashem sends you Yisurim, that's a slightly different. No, a slightly different emphasis than Isurim as Musa, or I don't know. I'm not too sure what I'm.
The point that I'm making is follows.
Not too sure what I'm asking.
We have to analyze what does the word Musar mean. How do we do that? We look at the first place to derive this is to see how the word is used in Tanakh. See how they understand what the word is referring to. How is it that we understand what words mean? Other than that, you look at the shorish of the word and you see what the shorish of the word is. The shorish of the word musar needs to be explained. What is the shorish? What's the shorish of that word?
Isurim.
So this is this is the talking about Mishlei. I think this is the first pasuk in Mishlei. Well, the second pasuk.
What is?
The word musar is in the second pasuk in Sefer Mishlei.
Ah, right.
Mishlei Shlomo ben David Melech Yisrael. Ladas Chachma u'Musar. So what does it mean? Ladas Chachma u'Musar. Over here,
My English says instruction.
Yep, instruction.
yeah. So there's many different ways to instruct. Many different ways to instruct. But that was the purpose of corporal punishment, to instruct. It wasn't simply because the teacher or the supervisor, whoever it was, got angry, and he had to get out his anger. So he got out his anger on this poor defenseless child. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about musar, something that instructs. So this was one of the tools that was used to instruct. Vilna Gaon says about this word, Ladas Chochma u'Musar lahavin imre bina. On the word musar, the Vilna Gaon says, Im yitzro misgaber alav. If his Yetzer hara is prevailing over him, liaser es atzmo, lishbor oso. He has to liaser. He has to inflict it and break it. K'moshe Kosov, lemor lasurim tseu. So that way the Gaon is explaining the word musar is based upon the word yisurim, and also he says it's based upon the word asur, to be bound. To be bound, it means that you have limits. You have things that you can't go over this line. That's what the musar is instructing you. It's instructing you that there's a line over here. It can't be crossed. So we have to use various forms, various methods to get that message across, to instruct that there are I don't want to say limitations. There are boundaries. A person has to have boundaries. He can't be unbridled without any boundaries. He won't do what he needs to do in this world if he's unbridled and has no boundaries. Free. the land of the free and the home of the brave. But that's not necessarily the Torah Hashkafa. It's just a quote from the American song. And Chazal actually describe what is freedom. What freedom is, Cherus. What the Torah calls freedom is freedom from the being dominated by one's Yetzer Hara. That's what true freedom is. Because the Yetzer Hara is not us. The Yetzer Hara is the bad guy. It's not us. And in order to instruct a youth who has folly in his heart and is connected to the folly, and his attitude is, let's do it, let's have fun, and wherever that fun takes us, he needs to be instructed that there's limits in this world, and he'll be much better off if he stays within the boundaries and doesn't go wild. Chas v'shalom.
Who translated it as, or saw it as boundaries, as limits? Who was it you said? What?
The word musar is instructing. What is it? I'm saying, what is it instructing about? What's the instruction? The instruction is that there's boundaries.
Right. So
that's the instruction.
Right. So who was it that saw it as that? You said somebody. Oh, no.
The Vilna Gaon.
Oh, Vilna Gaon. Right. Thanks. No, zum gesund.
Right. Okay.
So that reminds me of a story I heard about the nature of instruction. A man was trying to get his donkey to go along the road, and the donkey wouldn't budge. He's pushing and pulling and yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
So another man comes along and says, what's all this about? Says, oh, this donkey won't go no matter what I do. And the man says, you have to explain it to him that he needs to go. The man says, yeah, right. You show me. So the other man picks up a big heavy stick and he whacks the donkey right across the head. And he says, now you need to go because your master it requires your help. And the donkey starts walking forward. And the owner says, what are you talking about? You didn't explain it to him. I mean, you explained it to him, but first you hit him with a big stick. What was that all about? And the second man says, well, first you have to get his attention, and then you explain it to him.
Okay.
Okay.
So you got to use the musar. It has two phases. One is first getting the child, and the second is giving him the instruction.
Right. Of course. It's together, right? Of course, it's the child has to understand that what's being demanded of him, of course. But see, the thing is, though, is that today you're not going to get their attention with that. They're going to just be put off, and they'll start to try to hit you. So since it doesn't work, so there's no point in doing something that doesn't work. That's the thing. So today we have to figure out some other way to get their attention. We don't have that way at our disposal.
Right.
Doesn't work. Okay. Very good. 11:31.
So where
All the
are
best to Mayor. Yashikoyak to Mayor.
Okay,
where are we? We're on 380?
380, the first, the new paragraph there.
There are many?
Yeah,
We got up to there.
yes.
Great, thank you.
Okay, have a good day, everyone.
All the best.